I was born on June 3rd, 1963 at 6:36 in the morning.
Oh, nice.
So that's one of my favorite things about me is sixes and threes.
Yeah.
I am 61 now, if you want to do the math. Oldest child of three. And then as your listeners probably know by now, that eventually ended up being the oldest of eight when we had the yours, mine, and ours, the Brady Bunch
Yeah.
family. So I think that by the time I was in high school, I had gone to like 11 schools, if I
Mm.
count them all. I graduated from Utah State in 1986. I put myself through college teaching aerobics, believe it or not, good old high impact aerobics.
That's right.
And I used to charge people $1 a class. So they let me use a gym up at Utah State. And this is when it was in its heyday. And I would just stand at the door and just take $1 from every student. And I would get 80 students in every class. And I started teaching every night, and that was my college tuition. So it was really, really awesome. So to this day, I just don't, I have no desire to be part of any religion that says, you're in and you're out. That just breaks me to think that we can't all come together and worship together and struggle together and be messy together and be broken and be imperfect and love somebody that looks different. And I just don't understand because I
Yeah.
really think that in my interpretation, Jesus would have said, let's all sit together.
hmm Yeah. I agree with that. Yes. I think that he does do that, and I think we as humans don't. That's the I think that's the biggest problem that we don't.
Yeah. It's hard to be human, but I'll show you what I have overlooking my studio now.
Oh, I love that. Oh my
Not
God.
pretty.
Beautiful. Yes. Who did that?
A friend's brother, a friend of mine, her
Oh,
brother
that's beautiful.
did this. It was given to me as a gift, and I feel like now at age 61, I'm coming into this whole new relationship that's very personal with Jesus and with this idea of love and unity and inclusion and let's all sit here together. Let's all come together and worship differently, but
Mhm.
worship together.
Yes, I love that. I believe that the most important value that all of us can learn in this life is pure Christ-like love.
Mhm.
It's non-judgmental, and it's loving and accepting it wholeheartedly. That if all of these other traits that we develop in life, if we don't develop charity, then we're nothing, is what I feel like. Like that's the most important.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It's important.
And it's especially hard for me right now with the political climate, and I don't need to give any specifics or say any names, but I do believe that Jesus was about we, not me. And I
Yeah.
think it's that simple. I really think that Jesus was about us. And so many things that I see from both extremes right now are about me and mine
hmm
and not enough about us. How can we work this out together with all of our differences and all of our backgrounds and all of our beliefs and stories? We've done it before. I think we can do it again and be a beautifully diverse, rich, and inclusive nation. You
Yeah.
know?
The motto or the purpose of the Yoga Forward is to take yoga where it isn't, and one of those places is prison. And I love hearing you actually have many comments and letters and testimonials from these prisoners that say how it's changed their life, and your program has changed their life. And now they're overcoming, and they're anyway, their lives are changing from what the stuff that you're doing.
That the reason I was drawn back to that was because of our dad. And I really believe if you want to know where you're called to serve in the world, look at the places where you've experienced pain, and the chances are pretty good that you're being called to go back to those places and be in service. And one of those places for us is having an incarcerated parent. And that those years that our dad was incarcerated, it was spanned 15 years. I just, being a teenager, I hated going down there. I was so angry at him. I was so embarrassed by him. I hated everything about that. And so when he passed, it just got to me that, yeah, you're supposed to go back there and heal those wounds and let go of that anger and rage about all of that. And so it really is a fulfilling mission for me. Every time I see those men, I see dads and I see brothers and they're young now and I'm old. So I look at them as like someone's son. And
Yeah.
it just, I feel like you and I can go in there with different eyes
Mhm.
than other people can, to have that kind of perspective and to be willing to give people second chances, because that's what we wanted for our dad. Was we
Yeah.
wanted him to come out rehabilitated and sober and be able to have him back in our lives. And
Yeah.
so what we're doing in there is we do teacher training and yoga classes for incarcerated people, and they do come out. We have a 2% recidivism, meaning return to prison after 8 years of doing this, and that's unheard of. The
Mhm.
national standard for recidivism is like 83% at the 8 year mark of people that come out and go back in. 2% of our people. So we're
Wow.
definitely giving them tools to regulate their nervous systems and to manage their anger and stress and to see potential, to see their potential.
So
So I
important.
love that work, as you can tell.
Yes, I know. And then you were just given the award, the Idea Award.
The Idea World Inspiration Award.
Yes, Idea World Inspiration Award. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And they just spotlight someone every year that's, taking
Making a
fitness
difference.
and wellness out there in big ways. And so they just spotlighted the career that I've had, and especially what we're doing now in the prison. And I'm working with people that are living with cancer and going through cancer treatment. We're doing retreats for them, for us. I guess maybe that's a part of the story we should tell, huh?
Yes.
In 2015, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And
I'm turning my camera off so you can share without looking at my face.
thank you, because that would make me teary. 2015, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and we caught it early enough that I just was able to opt for a double mastectomy and hormone blocking medication. So I never had to do chemo and radiation. 5 years later, in 2020, I got to ring the bell saying, "You are cancer free." Yay.
Yeah.
And then in 2023, I went just for a regular checkup, mentioned to my doctor that I was having some shoulder pain. She sent me for a CAT scan. And a few days later, I was driving out to the prison and I got a call from her nurse, and she said, "I'm really sorry to tell you this, but the cancer is back and it has found its way into your spine and your lungs, and it's stage 4 and it's incurable, but it's treatable." They said. So she hung up, and because I was on my way out to the prison, I went anyway and taught my classes. And I shared with the women the news that I had learned. They knew that I had cancer, that the cancer had come back even before my own husband and family.
Yeah.
Um, and they just rallied around me. And to this day, they check on me all the time in letters, and it's really, really sweet. But I am taking oral chemo meds that I will be taking the rest of my life, and we hope that's a very long time. I also get injections to block the hormone receptors in my body, because my cancer is hormone. It's breast cancer that
Estrogen.
metastasized. And so it's very hungry for estrogen. And so I take these injections that cap off the receptor sites so that if the cancer is swimming around in there, it doesn't have anything to attach to. And so far, 2 years later, it's stable. It hasn't changed. It's in the same vertebra of my spine, and the tiny little nodules in my lungs haven't changed a bit. So that's all good. And I've got great energy and a huge sense of urgency to just make things amazing on this planet.
Your life to its fullest.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm committed to never again taking a single breath for granted. and to not sweating the small things and to loving the moments like this when I get to look in my beautiful sister's face. And what a gift it is that you've allowed me to share my story here.
I
I love being a woman in my 60s. I feel like I've finally stopped caring about the changes of my body and what people think. And I have find cancer is ironically my best teacher. And it is a gift to have a diagnosis when you know that we all know there's an expiration date on our life. And I don't know what mine is, but I do know that probably I cut the line a bit and I'm a little closer to the front of the line than maybe I would have been otherwise. But um, what a gift to not miss, to be able to look at a sunset and go, what if this is the last one? And to hear a song and go, I can't believe the talent that people put out into the world. I'm not missing a minute of this, and I won't. I just won't. So that makes this the absolute best season of my life. Just to kind of wrap it up with a bow, I am married to an entrepreneur, and we've raised three entrepreneurs. So our family is all about taking risks and putting ourselves out there. And it's my husband now is the brewery manager for a restaurant and brewery here in Salt Lake called Red Rock Brewery, and he loves his job. All three kids are involved in their own businesses, and they all live together, and it's just so fun to just watch them innovate and get excited about business. And um, I love this season of life of being a parent of adult children also. They are the light of my life, the center of my world. I got to go to a concert last week with my youngest son, Van, and it is up there in my top 10 memories of life. Whew.
yeah.
Just to be with him and an artist that we both love and both of us singing every single word. Like I can't remember feeling that much joy for so long. It was just like explosive joy. So look forward to more of that.
Yeah. I think the best advice that I have ever been given came from you and the parenting advice. Um, learn,
Oh, uh-oh.
learn from your children. Let them be your teachers. Like don't take on the role of always teaching and changing and fixing, but learn from them. Now and it's their turn to be your teacher. Learn anyway. Ask
Yeah.
questions. I don't remember how you said it, but that's the perspective you shared and what I've been practicing is ask questions instead of trying to teach so much because I've done a good job of teaching so far up until now. She's 14.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
right, Caitlin, do you want to come say hi to Aunt Dee Dee? She said, just to confirm it.
Yeah, no matter how much we try to teach at 14, they are not listening anymore. So teaching is
Uh,
done. But yeah, I would say that still is my best. I no longer believe that those kids are my kids. I think that I was trusted with their care
yeah.
for a while, and now I just get to walk with them through their lives and be a supporting role in with them being the main character of their own lives. And I love that. I love just watching them in the stage of their own life and the struggles and the celebrations and the mistakes they make. I learn a lot from just watching them. It's really cool.
Oh, I still have a lot to learn from you. I'm gonna have to call you more often. That's helpful for me. It'll be very helpful for us, for me and her for me to
Yeah.
trying to change
Hard
that.
at that age, though. That's a hard age because there's still a lot of mistakes that can be made, and it's still kind of risky. By now my boys they're who they are. They're baked. They're out of
Yeah.
the oven.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But that's the beginning of the independence phase that you've been so good at. And that I remember that's something that when Jackson was born, I think you said the one thing I want for him more than anything else is for him to grow to be independent. Have you succeeded as a parent to allow him to be
oh,
independent?
goodness. Yeah, be careful what you wish for because I said that about all my boys. And mom was asked that same question when we were young, and hers was, obedient, respectful
Uh,
people. So look at the way that, the times have changed, but yeah,
That's
I
why.
wanted to raise independent thinkers.
Well, thank you, Denise. It's amazing to hear your story, and I'm sure that we'll stay in touch for more questions. I'm sure the family may even have more questions. So
I love what you're doing. I'm, I'm excited to see the whole collection of all the stories and how it turns out.
yeah, yeah, it's fun to get the family a part of it. It's the same family, different perspectives, different parts of of their life, and the way that the events affected each of us. It's very interesting. I love it.
Would be so interesting to take if you could narrow down like one family experience and have everybody tell their story about that one thing.
Yeah. You made it. You are standing on the edge of the stage of your life, looking back on your life hours before passing through the other side. What are you thinking? How do you feel? What did you accomplish? Are you satisfied with how your life turned out? The great news is you are not standing at the edge of your life. You still have time to create the life you always wanted. You have time to learn from those difficult experiences that you thought were a waste. Those times when you felt more sorrow for yourself than understanding. You were inhibited from learning. And those times when you blamed someone else for the pain they caused you, you missed out on building strength and character. That's my hope for that, the stuff that we're doing. And write your life story and embrace it and share it with us and help us to learn from your story as much as you learn. So
Really beautiful. It's
I'm just
really
happy
beautiful.
that you're here.
thank
Yeah.
you. Have a beautiful day, Denise. I'm so glad
Hey,
I'm just
you
happy
too.
that
I love
you're
you.
here.
too. Bye.
And in the world's gone mad and no one understands, I know you always be around to lend your hand. So I'm just happy that you're here. Yeah.